Hey babies, welcome back to another Deck Tech and Modern Link video. Today I'll be showcasing Token CoCo, Tolkien CoCo, or Game Objects, since the community hasn't really agreed on what to call it yet. I've played this deck before on the channel, but with the new Lord of the Rings cards, the archetype's gotten a lot stronger, and I was even able to win a Modern Challenge with it last weekend. This is a high synergy creature combo deck built around using token generators and replacement effects to gain value and eventually go infinite with one of multiple combos to win the game. Samwise Gamgee and Lonis Cryptozoologist play similar roles, making a token whenever we have another creature ETB. Sam creates foods and has the additional ability to sacrifice 3 foods to return a historic card from our graveyard to our hand, and Lonis creates clues and has the ability to cash in the clues to steal non-land permanents from your opponent's deck. Our creatures with replacement effects are Academy Manufactor, Chatterfang, and Peregrine Took. Manufactor says whenever you create a clue, food, or treasure token, you get one of each instead, and these stack exponentially. Chatterfang says whenever you create any amount of tokens, you create that many squirrels as well, and it also has an activated ability that lets us sacrifice our squirrels to either kill or buff creatures. And Peregrine Took says whenever we make a token, we also make an additional food, and he has a second ability that lets us turn our extra food into cards. Cauldron Familiar is our main win con for our combos, draining our opponent when it enters the battlefield and being able to return itself from the graveyard to the battlefield by sacking a food. And what's also noteworthy about it is Cauldron Familiar doesn't target our opponent and it's a loss of life instead of damage, meaning we can win the game through protection from the One Ring. Viserys here gives us an easy way to sacrifice Familiar to go infinite with Sam, and Haywire Might gives us main deck interaction for artifacts and enchantments, which can be reused by Sam and is another possible way to go infinite. For our mana dorks, we have 4 Delighted Halfling and 4 Gilded Goose. Halfling works great for us because we're playing 12 legendary creatures, and Gilded Goose gives us another way to produce tokens. Our non-creature spells are 2 Witch's Oven, which work particularly well with Familiar and Chatterfang, 4 Collected Company, and 4 Court of Calling. Our mana base looks kinda crazy, so starting with the utility lands, we have 2 Urza Sagas, which tutor for the Ovens or Haywire Might, and can also make pretty large construct tokens, 1 Boseiju to give us a bit more interaction, 1 Dryad Arbor, and 1 Gingerbread Cabin, which are both fetchable lands that can generate tokens for us depending on our board. We're playing 9 fetch lands total. The ones you use don't really matter as long as they all fetch for forests. Our shocks are 2 Overgrown Tomb, 1 Breeding Pool, and 1 Temple Garden, and lastly, we have 1 Yavimaya and 2 basic forests. In our sideboard, we have 2 Chalice of the Void for Cascade decks, 2 Fatal Push for removal, and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns as graveyard hate we can get with Saga, 1 additional Haywire Might, 1 Pithing Needle, mostly for engineered explosives and the One Ring, and Lavinia for Cascade, 4 color Omnath and Tron decks, 4 Endurance for graveyard decks, and 2 Force of Vigor. This deck has a lot of potential combos, but here are the main ones to look out for. Cauldron Familiar, Samwise Gamgee, and Viserys here is our simplest combo. Sacrifice Familiar to Seer, then return Familiar to the battlefield by sacrificing a food, Sam makes another food, your opponent loses a life, and you're back to the same board. For the second one, we still have Familiar, but you can use either Sam or Lonis, Academy Manufactor, and Chatterfang. Use a black mana and sacrifice a squirrel to kill Familiar with Chatterfang, then sack a food to return it, which triggers the token ETB, creating a clue, food, treasure, and 3 more squirrels, so you can do it again. And the last common combo uses Samwise Gamgee, 2 Academy Manufactors, and either Haywire Might or a second Sam. When Might ETBs, you get 3 of each of your tokens, spend 1 treasure to activate Might, ideally on something your opponent controls, but if they don't have anything, target your own food, then activate Sam by sacrificing that same food and 2 others to return Might to your hand. Each time you do this, you're gaining a treasure and 3 clues so you can draw your deck. The last important thing to know is how to order your replacement effects. For maximum tokens, always apply Took first and Chatterfang last. This doesn't work like the stack, so it's a little unintuitive on Magic Online. And that's the deck. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's get into the games. Alright, round 1 with Token CoCo, Game Objects, Cat Factory, whatever you want to call it. We are on the draw. We only have 1 land. I think I'm going to mulligan this one. It's a little bit too sketchy. 1 land again. No mana dork this time either. I'm not happy to go to 5, but let's see what happens. Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, I'm going to keep this. Let's keep Gilded Goose. Fetch land. Fetch land. Do I just keep a bunch of fetches in the basic? I'm going to get Gingerbread Cabin eventually either way. Maybe I keep the Overgrown Tomb and not one of the fetches. Let's do it like that. Could save me a little bit of life. Opponent plays Watery Grave. Thought I was going to get Thoughtseized for a second there. We find Cauldron Familiar. They almost certainly have a Fatal Push here, I think. Let's just go Overgrown Tomb, Familiar, since we don't have a play for next turn with Gilded Goose anyway. Opponent didn't do anything on their turn. Is it a... I don't think it's a Shadow deck. Urza Saga's nice to have. Let's go to combat. This is probably blue-black control, so more than likely they have orcs this turn. Yep. That's fine, I don't super care about that card. We don't play many X1s at all. Let's just play Saga and pass. Urza Saga is going to be our main game plan until we actually draw something interesting here. Fatal Push, okay. Sunken Ruins, they have 4 cards in hand. They attack with both. Let's just take the damage. I think that means they have another orc, and I want to make a construct that's a 2-2. Samwise Gamgee. Okay. Let's go Windswept Heath. Pass. I'm going to fetch out a Temple Garden with this and make a construct. Opponent plays Polluted Delta. Okay. They think about attacking. They go for it. Let's go for a block this time. They probably have a Fatal Push, but we'll see. I want to make them use actual cards to get rid of a third of Urza's Saga if that's going to happen. They let us block. They must have a Bowmasters again. If they do, I'm going to get Familiar back in response, so they don't get the Amass trigger. Yeah. Let's get Familiar back. Opponent has 3 cards. They could easily have a counterspell. They fetch. They play another Bowmaster. Okay. Interesting. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. We're going to make a construct and get Witch's Oven. Port of Calling. I don't quite have the mana to win this turn. Court of Calling means Viserys here. Let's just make another construct, see if they use resources to get rid of it again. Witch's Oven. Verdant Catacombs. And pass. I hope our opponent taps out again. Like for a One Ring or something. They shock. So if they pass with the shock, I think that means they have Subtlety. Otherwise, they might be tapping out here. And that would be fantastic. I like this blue-black control deck. It's really interesting to have something like that in the format. Otawara, 1 card in hand. Okay. Let's make a food. Opponent can no longer have anything. We take 2. Who cares? Okay. Academy Manufactor. Do I go for style with the Academy Manufactor? I want to make sure that I'm doing the math right here. So Samwise Gamgee costs here. It taps for green, tap for green, tap for green, Cauldron Familiar for 1. Okay. Let's get Dryad Arbor, get a Sam trigger, yield, familiar, triggers, yield, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Viserys here. Easy peasy. Let's see if my opponent makes me click through this. Hooray, I didn't have to click through it. Alright, what do we want to bring in? I like Pithing Needle and Haywire Might against them, because they definitely have the One Ring, and they could have, like, Leyline of the Void. I also kind of like Fatal Push against them, just because, although Bowmasters doesn't do much, it can be really annoying, and Push also gets rid of Shield Druid, which is a pretty big problem for us. I don't think Endurance is necessarily worth it, since it's really hard to, actually block and kill a Murktide if they play it, and I don't think there are any other flyers that we're blocking with Endurance. Let's cut Peregrine Took, 1 Lonis. Do I want the Fatal Pushes? I think I'll be fine without them. I'd rather have the Chords. Usually when I bring in Fatal Pushes, I cut a couple Court of Callings because I don't want to dilute the collected companies that much. And I don't really want to cut any Witch's Ovens here just because their deck is not very good at getting rid of them. So Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar could just be a really strong engine against them by itself. That was surprisingly good for Mull to 5. Alright, I'm definitely keeping this. We go turn 1 Delighted Halfling, turn 2 Halfling probably gets pushed, so probably Gilded Goose Haywire Might. Let's keep. And also they don't really benefit from Yavimaya, so we don't have to worry about playing that out. There are a couple matchups where Yavimaya is bad for us to play, like Tron and stuff, but usually doesn't come up that much. Let's just go Yavimaya, Halfling. They almost certainly have a push. But I don't know, maybe they didn't get the memo to bolt the birds. Opponent fetches. Watery Grave, shock. Yep. Okie dokie. Well, we can play Manufactor on turn 3, even if Gilded Goose doesn't survive. I think I play both the Geese here, since they probably have Orcs, and I don't want the Haywire Might to just eat it. Play Goose, get a food. It could be good to hold a Goose for when we have Manufactor in play, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have kill spells. Post-board, you also have to worry about Damnation against this deck, so that'll be worth thinking about. Bowmasters, yep. Damn, that card is just not very good in this matchup. I think that's the main thing that helped me during the challenge and has made this deck sort of well positioned right now, is that Bowmasters does not have very good targets to kill, and we're not drawing a bunch of cards. I will take the 2 damage. I don't want to get Bowmastered. We have plenty of life. Opponent passes. So we have Court of Calling. If I play Verdant Catacombs, I don't have to fetch immediately. I could Court X2 and be pleased about it. I don't really want to run out the Haywire Might still, because I think they could have another Bowmaster pretty easily. Let's just pass and hold up Court X2. If they tap out for the ring on their turn, I'm fine with letting them get the one draw. Although I might Chord for Haywire Might in response if they tap out. Cycle Lorien revealed. Okay. I really like this card. I really like this card. I think it's a very good design. It's not busted, but it's very interesting and playable. Attacks for 2. Okay. Okay. They have 4 cards in hand. Do they tap out on their turn? No. Let's just Chord anyway and see if they do anything. Opponent dress downs. Okay. Maybe they didn't have a counterspell and they're looking for it? It's a weird time to use a dress down. It stops us from doing things with it on our turn, I guess. If I get Sam and they don't have removal for it, I can go Academy Manufactor. They could kill the Academy Manufactor. I don't get any triggers during that turn, but I can get Manufactor back. So let's go Sam. If they have a kill spell, that's fine. Looks like they do. Yep, Drown in the Lock on Sam, that's fine. Delighted Halfling. They have 3 cards in hand. Let's just play Academy Manufactor while they're tapped out. They don't have Subtlety. Do I play Halfling out? Nah. I'd rather hold up the fetch. And pass. So I could potentially get 2 Academy Manufactor triggers here. I want to try to play around removal spells, though. What you got, opponent? Murktide. 2 cards in hand. Okay. And... okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. I kind of don't think they have removal. We'll know if this Gingerbread Cabin trigger resolves. Okay, we're Gucci. Let's create a food. I should have tapped Gilded Goose there. Oh well. Chatterfang. We're at 10. Let's play Chatterfang. Do they have a counterspell? It doesn't look like it. 1, 2, 3. I can't activate Gilded Goose twice. I think I need to play out Halfling. I might be able to kill Murktide Regent with Chatterfang soon. Let's see what happens. They didn't have removal for the last 2 turns. I think I just take the 6 here, because I can gain a bunch of life. I don't want to lose a Gilded Goose and then have them kill the other one, potentially. What you got, opponent? Engineered Explosives on 0. Okay. 1 card in my opponent's hand. 1, 2... I'm still going to activate Gilded Goose at end of turn. Either they EE now or I get to untap with even more tokens, which would also be fine. Are they just popping now? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is make a green, sacking a food, make a green. Explosives resolves, they lose their army, we lose some food and clues, which is fine. We are still in the main phase, they have 1 card in hand. I think we've got it from here though, since they don't have removal. And we can kill Murktide now. Because we're getting 3 squirrels per goose. Untap. Chord. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and activate Goose now. And then I'm going to Chord for Sam with the squirrels before I sack them. Chord X2. Getting another Manufactor could be fine too, but I want Sam so I can start getting other things back. Like now I have insurance and can get Sam back if I need to. Play out Haywire Might, get some triggers. I'm basically board wipe proof right now with the Sam. Yield. As long as I can make enough food to put things back in my hand. Which I don't think should be a problem. Let's go to combat. Attack, attack. Don't really feel like putting Academy Manufactor on the line, just in case they have something. Although I don't really think they do. What you got, opponent? Another Bowmaster. That's fine. What did they hit with it? Chatterfang has Forest Walk, so it's not getting blocked anyway. They ping us. Okay. Okay. I'm not quite infinite with Haywire Might, Academy Manufactor, Sam. So let's just pass, I think. And I should have them dead next turn. I can activate Chatterfang 4 times. I can kill their whole board. They basically have to have Damnation now, and we got it. Sweet. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 2, we're on the draw. We have a 1-lander, but we're on the draw and we have 2 dorks. We have Sam and we already have Cat Oven too. So I think I just keep this. Like, it's a little risky, especially if they scam me here. Okay, they're playing Ragavan on turn 1 instead. That's okay, we drew a land. Fantastic. Let's just run out Cauldron Familiar so they don't get the clean Ragavan hit in. Next turn I can play like Mana Dork Oven. So if they kill the Mana Dork, I can just get Familiar back and start looping it. Orcish Bowmaster is pinging Familiar. Okay. Well, at least they didn't start the game with double grief. That's what really counts. They don't cast a Lighted Halfling. We draw CoCo. Let's play Yavimaya. I think I need to get Oven into play this turn. I'm not sure if I should just play out Haywire Might, because I kind of just think whatever I'm going to play is going to die anyway. So I think that is what I'm going to do here. Because these are more valuable to actually have around, where I think whatever I play this turn just gets swapped into a cat. Because they have to try to kill it, otherwise I get to block and kill Ragavan. Bowmaster, okay. No. Okay. Opponent. Attacks. I think I'd rather have the food than trade for either of those. If they attacked with Ragavan, I would have blocked. But I don't want the familiar exposed to possible removal without the ability to sack it again. Verdant Catacombs. We are drawing fantastically here. Is it worth playing Sam out? Probably is. I think if they had removal, they probably would have attacked with Ragavan last turn. So let's just play out Sam. Let's... Does it matter if I play Goose or Halfling? Halfling's probably better to go ahead and play now. Okay. So I can get Familiar back, go up to 3 food, get back Haywire Might. If I just want to keep having as many permanents as possible. Dauthi Voidwalker's a little annoying. It stops the Familiar looping. Fury, but do they have a scam effect? Sack Halfling. Okay. Let's get Familiar back now. Hopefully we don't eat it to a scam effect, but it's definitely possible. I think it's worth just getting the extra food and the Haywire Might back here as another blocker. Cash in foods for Might. Try to get as many rectangles as possible. Please don't have scam effect. They don't. Thank God. Alright. This trade is worth it, I think. Because the Familiar is not great with Voidwalker in play anyway. And I don't want them getting more resources than they already have ahead of us. Sam. Okay. I think I just play out the Sam again. Gilded Goose. Try to CoCo next turn. I don't think they have removal. Otherwise, I don't think they would have traded away the Ragavan, so Sam might be able to block well. They could have a third Bowmasters, I guess, but it's not particularly likely. Fatal Push. Annoying. Okay, we'll make another food. Opponent attacks for 6. I don't think they have the third Bowmasters. Excellent. Now the real question is, do I just go for CoCo, or do I want to gain life here and play Haywire Might? I think I just go for CoCo. Let's just main phase it. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. We get Academy Manufacturer Lonis, like absolute geniuses. Investigate. They don't have removal. Play Haywire Might. Get the treasure back. We still don't have a way to kill Dauthi Voidwalker, which is a little annoying. Do I play out the second Oven now? I kind of think I might want the treasure more. Although I guess the Oven turns into a treasure eventually. Let's just go ahead and get it out of our hand in case they have Grief stuck in their hand and play it next turn. And we'll pass. Alright, we're definitely blocking at least some here. I don't think we should be dead this turn. If they have like double bolt suddenly, they'll get us, but let's just hope that that doesn't happen. I guess technically I could survive that because I can make 2 treasures and crack a food. Alright, they attack with everything. Let's block. Okay. And I'm going to sack Haywire Might to Witch's Oven here because I don't care about the army as much as I care about getting the extra stuff. Feign Death so they can ping Lonis. Okay. Let's get tokens. They're going to kill Lonis. I can convert it into more tokens at least. That's 1 Bowmaster down. We're at 4. They could have Bolt, I guess, to kill us. No, it still doesn't kill us. Alright. We're not going to let you grow the army. We're going to get some more tokens. I could crack a clue here, but they could just bolt me. I don't really want to deal with that. Let's pass. We can gain a lot of life at least. Ooh, Chatterfang. Okay. What's the best way to do this? I can Chatterfang, activate Gilded Goose. Yeah, okay. I think that gets us out of the situation we're in. Create a food. Tap. Tap. Yep. Yep. I'm gonna keep the Gilded Goose. Chatterfang Academy Manufactor Witch's Oven is a bit of a combo in itself, even though it doesn't win the game, just because each time you're activating Witch's Oven now you're getting 6 tokens instead of 1, so it's kind of really stupid. But we should have game now. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. And I'm just gonna go ahead and kill Voidwalker before they can cash it in for anything. Okay, you. Hold on, make sure I click the right thing. Target you. Black. 1, 2. Yep. Okay. I don't really care about either of these right now. Let's attack for 1. I'm gonna hold the 2 treasures for a food activation in case they do have a couple of bolts. Okay, cool. We pulled that one out of our ass a little bit. What do we want? I like Fatal Push for Voidwalker. I like Pithing Needle because they could have Engineered Explosives, Ratchet Bomb, Filigree, Silex pretty easy. And I also like Endurance here. Endurance can, in theory, interact with the scam plan, but mostly it just has like a really big ass on it and blocks really well. Since you can block and kill pretty much anything, including Fury, even though it does trade for it. So let's cut 2 Court of Callings. Peregrine took... I think I want to keep the Haywire Might in case they have Blood Moon. I got blown out pretty bad by Blood Moon in one of my games against Scam recently. So maybe I just ditch 2 Lonis. I'm definitely ditching at least 1 Lonis. I don't want to cut 2 Cords, I don't think. I could cut 1 Witch's Oven, I guess, but I don't think that's correct. Maybe it is correct to cut Haywire Might. Let's do that. I think that's fine. Cutting a couple of Cords makes Might worse anyway. And if they're playing Blood Moon, we're not using Saga to get Might. This hand's a little slow, but we have mana fixing. I think it's okay. Let's keep it. It's kind of hard to trust an opening hand against Scam because you could just get so fucked up by the grief thing. They have Ragavan. Fuck. Alright. That's why I play 3 Cauldron Familiars. It's a combo piece, but it's also just great at getting in Ragavan's way. It feels a lot like Memnite does in Affinity, where it's just sort of a do-nothing synergy card most of the time. But it's also just real good at blocking the monkey. Do they attack? They don't. Okay. Samwise Gamgee, hey? I think I just go ahead and play that out. They could have Fury Scam, I guess. But I think I just kind of have to play into it at this point. And hopefully get a token out of Chatterfang next turn. But we'll see. They do have 5 cards in hand, so lots of things could still happen. Fury, yup. Please just don't have the scam effect. Okay. We're not dead. If they had the double strike 3/3, I think we would have been dead, but we might still be able to do things here. They get Beseiju off the top of our deck. They get a treasure. I assume they're going to play Grief here? That's what it looks like. Nope. Spyro. Okay. What was the last card in their hand? Fatal Push. They don't want the Fatal Push? Seems a little odd. Alright, Witch's Oven is decent. Let's just go ahead and play Chatterfang out. We could at least block Monkey with this or make them use some removal on it. We are in a bit of danger here, just because they have so much shit now. But hopefully we can play CoCo next turn and start doing things. They're just going straight to combat. Okay. Let's block the Monkey. They might have a second one, but I don't want them to get the treasure for free. They don't have a ton of good hits on cards out of our deck, but it could be a little annoying. Okay, they use Bowmasters to kill Chatterfang. That's fine. So I could go CoCo, or I could go Chatterfang, get Gingerbread Cabin for a squirrel, play Witch's Oven next turn. Opponent has 1 card in hand. They Feign Death Ragavan. We draw Samwise Gamgee. We're at 5. We're effectively at 2. I guess we just have to go for Collected Company and Bless Up, right? I don't think there's another way out of this. If I Collected Company into double Manufactor, I think I can win. So let's Misty Rainforest fetch. Get Gingerbread Cabin on the stack. Collected Company. Come on, double Manufactor. Not what I was looking for. Lonis Familiar. Gains me a life up to 5. I can block Spyro. Orcish Bowmasters. Take 5. Okay, I'm dead. I think I just run it back how I had it. I still don't really think that I need Haywire Mite. I'd rather have Oven Cat. Let's take the play. This is okay. Unfortunately, we didn't see Engineered Explosives last game, so I don't know if it's correct to name that, but it probably is. I'm probably just playing Gilded Goose on turn 1 anyway. Let's keep. And let's just go Basic Forest, Goose, and pass. I might just play Endurance on turn 2 if they play Ragavan Go again. They play Polluted Delta, go to 19, down to 17 with Blood Crypt, and Monkey? Okay. Seer. Not terribly exciting. Let's just play Yavimaya pass. If they attack in, I will Endurance them, make them use some removal, perhaps. Otherwise, I get a free monkey kill, which would be cool, since they can't use an orc to just ping away the Endurance. Alright, let's go for it. Cross your fingers for me. This could be really good for us if they just don't have anything. I'm going to put their fetch land back in their deck and block. Do they have a bolt, maybe, to just trade with the Endurance? What you got? Dothy. You see, that's why I love Endurance in this deck. It's just got a hell of an ass on it. I could play Chatterfang out. I think if they had Fury Scam, they would have done it last turn. Yeah, I think I'm going to shock myself and play Chatterfang. I could have just played Misty out, I guess, too, but it's whatever. Let's hack for 3. I really want to untap with Chatterfang Gilded Goose. They didn't have removal for Endurance last turn, so it makes me think that they probably don't have it this turn. But we'll see. Opponent plays Delta, cracks it, gets a Swamp. Blood Moon? Okay. I mean, I have Gilded Goose Forest, so I'm not particularly worried about Blood Moon here. And we also have the clock on our side. Cauldron Familiar, okay. It is hard to play these currently. Let's play out Misty, aka Mountain. Let's make a Squirrel. And let's just go ahead and Pithing Needle Engineered Explosives. Because I figure it's more likely that they have more than one copy of explosives than like Filigree Silex here. And let's just attack for 6. I mean, we have our opponent dead pretty quickly if they don't have removal. They go to 7. They play a land. 4 cards in their hand. They attack for 3, yep. We go to 12. And they pass. Okay. Well, they have to have removal, otherwise they're just dead. Let's play out Misty. Attack with everything, I guess. Not Goose. They've got to have a bolt for Chatterfang here, right? Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. Targeting Squirrel. In response. Black. Eat the food. Sack the Squirrel. Hold on. Okay, Chatterfang. Target you. Black. Eat the food. Sack the Squirrel. Okay. They could have Feign Death. They don't. Okay. We don't get a Squirrel token, and we can't cast either of these cards stuck in our hand. But they're probably dead now, because they're at 1. And all we have to do is figure out how to cast this Cauldron Familiar, or just hit them with one of our guys again. Alright, cool. Again, if they had the Scam Nut draw, we would have been in a lot of trouble. Like either Double Grief early, or just playing a Fury really early and putting a clock on us would have been a nightmare. But we have some pretty good resilience on us, even through Blood Moon. I'll see you in round 3. Alright, we won the die roll, so we're going to take the play. We have Double Saga, which is a little awkward. Forest, Court of Calling, Chatterfang, Academy Manufactor. Although Double Saga is awkward, I think I keep this hand just because of how many synergy pieces we have at once. And if they just don't really interact with us, we can just kill them by getting Cat with Court of Calling. So let's keep. I would love to draw another land, though. Fetch land specifically. Let's go Forest Pass. I might be able to draw some removal out of their hands by just playing some constructs off of the Urza Sagas. They play Ragavan. Looks like it's probably just regular Murktide. They're not playing Gigantha. Do I just play Sam because they can't counter it? I think there's an argument for that. We have a bunch of other stuff that we don't want them to remove either. So let's just go ahead and play Sam now. They've probably got removal, but that's fine. Flooded Strand, crack. Steam Vents, okay. Darcy, Bolt, I assume? They're going to offer me the trade, I think, first. It's maybe what they're considering. I'm definitely not taking the trade. Sam is way more important than Ragavan here. Yep, Bolt, that's fine. Then next turn, do I play Manufactor or Chatterfang? They're tapped out again, which is nice. They'll have 1 mana, but I don't super care about that. Do they play Familiar? That'd be funny. They don't. Okay. We draw Haywire Might. Let's go Urza's Saga. Okay. Chatterfang. Again, I think they might have removal, and typically I rank Academy Manufactor as the most important card in the deck, so I don't like to expose that to removal if I have the option. Chatterfang is also more of a threat on its own, especially with Urza's Saga, since I can start generating extra tokens. Darcy's online. They go to 14. They bolt. Okay. Chatterfang down. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. They still haven't used any counter spells, so I assume they've got them. They play Murktide? Taps out for Murk. Okay. Interesting. So I can play Manufacture Haywire Might. I could also go Haywire Might Chord for 1. Or I could go Haywire Might make a Construct. They have 2 cards in hand. Just getting hit by Murktide and a Bolt isn't quite lethal. If I go Academy Manufacture Haywire Might, they probably Bolt Manufactor. I block Might. I block Ragavan with Might. If they have another Bolt, that is. They've already used a lot of removal is the issue. So they might be out of removal. They don't have counter spells, so I think this is my opportunity to get Manufactor in play. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Play Saga, play Academy Manufactor, play Haywire Might. And I think we just have to hope for the best. It is possible that we're dead here if they can just burn us out, but they've used 2 lightning bolts hitting our creatures, so it's pretty unlikely. Even if they get Delirium for Darcy again, they would need a bolt, or they would need double removal to hit in with Ragavan. Cycle Lorien revealed. Okay. That gets them closer to Delirium, I guess. They hit for 6. 3 cards in our opponent's hand. We're at 4. Windswept Heath. 1, 2, 3. Let's just float mana here. Get Witch's Oven. Play Heath. I can make a construct. If I make a construct, I can 1, 2, 3. Fetch down to 3. Gain 3 with a food. Sack Haywire Might to stay technically not dead yet. Is there a way I could chord for anything? They've got to have a counterspell though, and I don't want to give them Delirium with Darcy is the issue. Let's make a construct. And let's just pass. I think that's how I want to do it. I guess I could also still chord, possibly for a blocker for Murktide, I mean. We're definitely popping Haywire Might here. Get 2 foods and I'm dead to a bolt. It's not the worst, I guess. Basic Forest to conserve life total. Crack a food. If they have the 3rd bolt, I guess they have it. I think I'm fine with gambling on that. It seems really unlikely. Okay. We untap. CoCo. So I can get double Witch's Oven to make a fuck ton of mana. 1, 2... Is it worth getting the 2nd construct? I think it might be, although I'm not certain. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it is. What's the best way to do this? I guess I don't know if they have double counter spells or not yet. Let's just float mana. I don't think I'm winning with this construct token either way. I think I need to win by assembling a combo. Wooded Foothills. Do I just chord for 1 and see if they counter it? I think I might have to main face CoCo here. I could also just gain a bunch of life still. What's more valuable between Collected Company and Chord? Probably Collected Company is more valuable. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, CoCo X1. Counterspell. Surveil. Alright, we just gotta hope that they don't have a 2nd counterspell, I think, is the way that I have to do this. So we can crack here, get Gingerbread Cabin. Do I want to let it resolve now? I'm gonna have to sack the construct anyway. So let's do this. Leave it on the stack in case I find another Manufactor, cast Collected Company, and they have double counterspell, it looks like. Okay, they got it. Sad. Alright, what do we want? Let's bring in Fatal Push, let's bring in all of the Endurances, I think that might be it. Pithing Needle I guess could be fine, but well, they definitely have Engineered Explosives, so let's consider Pithing Needle. Cut Might, cut Chord, Peregrine Took, Lonis, and 1 Oven, I think? Let's run it like that. Maybe there was a way I could have played that to get through it, but I don't know. I feel like if I had just waited and gained life, I would have eventually died anyway, because I could have gained enough to not die to Murktide there, but if they surveilled and got Delirium to attack in, I think I would have died to Darcy. I don't know. I probably messed up that game, but I don't know. Alright, we're gonna take the play. 2 lands, Witch's Oven, Chatterfang, Manufactor, Chord. It's fine. We don't have a lot to do early. I think I'll keep it. We really need to draw a 3rd land. That's not the worst hand I've seen, so I think I'll settle with it. Opponent mulligans to 6. They go to 5. Maybe we just have to hope that they Can't find any lands. Turn 1 Ragavan could still be pretty bad for us. Alright, let's go. Overgrown Tomb. Yep. And Witch's Oven. Pass. If we find Familiar, that's fantastic. If we find a land, that's good too. They don't have turn 1 Ragavan, so we are in business. And we found a Yavimaya as well, so we can actually start playing our hand. I assume they're going to hold Counterspell up and just counter our Chatterfang here, but I think I still just have to play it on turn 2. Or on turn 3, rather. Their turn 2. They get rid of Counterspell. Maybe they're looking for lands? They found an island. Okay. Sam, we can't cast that yet. Let's just go ahead and play Chatterfang. Gonna eat some tempo loss probably here. That's fine. Just gotta get resources out of their hand while we can. That is the nice thing about playing a bunch of legendary creatures. When you have multiple in your hand, it does not feel bad when one of them gets countered or killed. Pretty much all of our legends are must-kill value engines / threats over time anyway, so it doesn't feel like you're playing a bunch of legends most of the time. Gingerbread Cabin, eh? And they don't have mana this turn either. Let's just go ahead and play Manufactured Cabin. Okay. And let's go ahead and get Sam in play too. They could have Fury, but I don't particularly care. If they go to kill Sam, I'm going to pop Sam to Witch's Oven, and if they go to kill Academy Manufacturer, I could try to get it back with Sam later. I could actually get it back in my hand next turn, possibly. They missed a land drop also, so I think we might be in business here. I think I was right about that. Consider looking for a land. Tap out for Murktide, do it. Opponent plays Consider main phase, looking for lands. They put Murktide in the graveyard. And they have a Bolt, Ragavan, Unholy Heat. Okay. Yep. Okay. We draw Delighted Halfling. Let's play Halfling. Make a food. Put Manufacturer back in our hand. Play Manufacturer. And I think we have game now, because I can... Do we have game? I can chord for 1. That uses the treasure, though, is the issue. I think I still chord here, because we basically have infinite Chatterfangs with the Samwise in play. Let's just go ahead and get Familiar, get a couple triggers with it. Oh, we do have game, because we can play Chatterfang, because this is 3 triggers. Okay. I forgot about the getting Familiar back, 3rd trigger. Well, easy peasy. And I'm just going to get the Chatterfang back from my graveyard to not show them extra information if I can help it. Chatterfang, yes. 1, 2, 3. And we are infinite. So this is probably the most common combo that comes up in the deck. We've seen the regular Viscera Seer, Cauldron Familiar, Samwise combo. But Chatterfang, since you're making treasure and squirrels each time with Academy Manufactor, you can use its ability to -1 Cauldron Familiar and then just reset the combo. Very fun. Let's just run it back. Hopefully our opponent will mold a 5 and not have lands again, because that was pretty nice. They keep 7. We're on a 1-lander. I think I got to mulligan that. I don't think it's responsible to keep a bunch of 1-landers. I think I can keep this. I want Familiar in case they have Ragavan. I want Sam. I want both the lands. Would I rather have Chord, Gilded Goose, or Delighted Halfling back in the deck? Chord gives us a way to combo, so I don't think I get rid of that. I think I keep the Delighted Halfling and get rid of Goose. Let's do that. Yeah, because Delighted Halfling means I get to play Sam and have it be uncounterable. If they play Ragavan on turn 1, I'm just going to go Overgrown Tomb Familiar. But if they do anything else, I think I just play Halfling. Okay. They have 4 cards in hand. We might be able to sneak the Samwise Viscera Seer Familiar combo through this game. We'll see. They played double Mishra's Bauble on turn 1. They keep 1 on top. And they're going to peek our top deck. Okay. What do we have on top? Fatal Push. I could just Fatal Push the Darcy now. That gets rid of a lot of value on their end, I guess. And then next turn I would just be going Delighted Halfling, Cauldron Familiar. That's not the worst. If I have Delighted Halfling, Cauldron Familiar already in play in 2 lands, I can tap Halfling and 1 land to play Samwise. If I draw land, I can chord for 1, I think. Let's just go ahead and Fatal Push now, since we know it can resolve and it kind of just gets the clock off of us here. Fuck you. Don't surveil anymore, please. I just want to stop them from finding as many removal and counter spells as they want, because I think that would be the scariest thing here. Alright, they just don't play anything on that turn. That's fine. Endurance, okay. Endurance isn't bad. Let's play out Cauldron Familiar. They've definitely got a counter spell. I think they're probably going to counter this Delighted Halfling, or at least kill it. They don't counter it, okay. A Bolt for it, that's fine. We need to draw lands. If I do draw land, I probably just pass and hold up Endurance / Chord for 1. I can't play Sam last, otherwise the combo doesn't work. Land. Samwise. Lame. Okay. Well, we're just looking for lands now. I don't think I attack for one, just because it means they could dash Ragavan. Not quite worth it. Expressive Iteration. Okay. Really want to find a land. Would love to draw a third land at some point during this game. Preferably before I'm already dead on board. This turn would be great since they're kind of tapping down. I might be able to get an Endurance into play and get rid of their graveyard before they play a Murktide and start killing me. I guess I could still evoke Endurance, but it's not super worth it if I don't know that they have Murktide for sure. I like it better as a blocker. They get an island. Okay. They cycle Lorien Revealed. Are they just going to play Darcy this turn and be tapped out? I guess they could have Subtlety still, but that's not super good if they're losing 2 cards for a Subtlety. Okay. Land. Fuck. God, that sucks. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. Do I think they have Murktide? I don't think so. And by that I mean they probably do, but I would prefer that they don't, so I'm just going to pretend that they don't. They bobble us. Attack for 3. Yep. They don't play Murktide. Okay. And we draw Verdant Catacombs. Okay. Let's pass. We've got a lot of stuff with Flash. That's good for us. They have a lot of cards in hand too, though, which is an issue. They consider. Okay. They kept the card on top with Consider. Let's go for Endurance here. I assume they have a counterspell, but if they do, they would have had it anyway. Cast Endurance. Let it happen. Be cool. Alright, counterspell. Opponent surveils. We take 3 down to 9. We are in the danger zone. Opponent passes. We draw Chatterfang. Let's play Chatterfang. They could pretty easily have another counterspell here. I'm kind of fine with them countering this, though, since it doesn't combo kill them. Alright, let's attack with Familiar, since we are not expecting them to dash Ragavan anymore. They can still bolt Chatterfang. That's fine. We got something to resolve at least, I guess. Unholy Heat. Yep. Now, if they have double bolt for our face, we are dead. We have seen 1 lightning bolt out of their deck, and they're halfway through their deck. So it's possible that they have 2 in their hand, especially with all the surveilling. What is this? Murktide? Murktide. We draw Endurance. So, how can we win here? I think we just have to hope that they don't have a counterspell, although I think they do. If I play Sam, I can evoke Endurance, get a food and Chord X1 and try to win. They probably counter the Chord or the Sam, but like I said, I think I just have to go for it at this point, right? They've almost certainly got a counterspell in their hand. Alright, let's play Sam. Just don't have anything. Be cool. If they have a counterspell or they remove Sam in response to the Endurance, I'm gonna die. Okay, they didn't counter Sam. Let's cast Endurance, exiling Chatterfang. Do they have a counterspell for this? Come on, just don't have it. Alright, they don't counter that. Let's do Evoke last, shuffle your graveyard away, make a food. We get the food, we get rid of their yard, and the last piece we need to resolve is Chord X1. Okay, I'll yield to those. We were gonna die to that anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference for us. Alright, no counterspell. If they don't remove Sam or counter this in response to Chord. Yep, there's the Chord, there's the counter. Ah, very sad. Very close though. Alright, I will see you in round 4. Alright, round 4, we lost the die roll, and we are... I don't know if we're keeping this hand. It seems kind of fine. It's a little clunky. We really need more mana. We can definitely find combo pieces though. Our opponent's keeping 7. Screw it, let's just keep. One of these chords could be cashed in X0 to get a Dryad Arbor for CoCo, if we really need to. We just need to draw another land pretty bad. And we have Cauldron Familiar to block Monkey, which is nice. It looks like this might be the same matchup, just blue-red Murktide again. Academy Manufacturer, okay. Which is kind of interesting because it seems like regular role Is It Murktide has been on the downswing of popularity lately. Alright, let's start drawing lands, please. Yeah, at least 2 of them would be nice. I wonder if they have main deck Blood Moon. Might want to get a basic force just in case. Darcy, okay. Bobble, Surveil, 3 cards in our opponent's hand. They put Lorien Revealed in the graveyard. Okay. And they attack with Monkey. They must have a second Monkey. Either that or they just really don't have removal. Maybe they just really want a Delirium? What do we see? Second Cauldron Familiar. We still need to draw land. Alright, we're in the danger zone of needing lands now. Kind of sucks that that has happened twice in a row now. And against the same deck, no less, it looks like. Expressive Iteration. Alright, if we draw a land, we're in pretty good shape, actually, because our opponent's tapping down. So we get to at least resolve something, probably Chatterfang. Since we have a chord-heavy hand, I think I want to get Chatterfang in play early, because the tokens work really well with it. Opponent is keeping an island untapped. They didn't want to get a red source, so they must just not have removal. We take 3 down to 16, and draw land, please? Jesus Christ. Well, I got punished for keeping a very top-end heavy hand. I'm going to keep Cauldron Familiar back in case of Ragavan. I doubt the 1 damage is going to matter. We're probably just going to try to go for a combo here. They are very blue mana heavy. Do they have Blood Moon? Yep. Jesus Christ. Alright, well, we can't do anything about that. I think we're just going to die to this Blood Moon this game. We have 2 basic forests. That could help us out at least. Manufacture could possibly fix our mana for other stuff if we start making food. Saraseer, Jesus. Well, this hand has definitely turned out into something I should have mulliganed, I think. The CoCo and chords were just so tempting, though. I was happy that I at least had the first Cauldron Familiar for blocking Ragavan, but other than that, this is not going swimmingly. Opponent plays Murktide, it looks like. Yep. They lose Delirium, they get a 5/5. They have Bobble in their graveyard, 3 cards in hand. We draw Chatterfang. I'm just going to scoop it up. We are not drawing out of this in time. We're not going to be able to draw both a forest and a flying blocker. Let's get Fatal Pushes, Endurance. They are almost certainly keeping the Blood Moon in because of how much work it did that game. So I think I keep Haywire Might in and just don't bother with Pithing Needle. Let's cut Took, Lonis, Cord, 1 Oven, 1 more Lonis, I think. Try it like that. It could be right to bring in a second Haywire Might. I don't think it's super necessary, though. Feels like it would be overkill. And I don't want to cut more chords because they are a decent way to get them to tap mana at the end of their turn, so we can try to resolve something on ours. Alright, we're going to take the play for game 2. We have 3 lands, which is huge. Endurance, Cauldron Familiar to get in the way, Chatterfang Collected Company, let's keep. So it looks like turn 1, Cauldron Familiar off of Overgrown Tomb. We have a basic forest already in case they do play Blood Moon again. Opponent mulligans 2/6. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have kept the hand last game, but I don't know. Let's get Overgrown Tomb. Yep, go to 17, play Familiar, and pass. I don't want to signal that I have Endurance, so I'm going to be hitting F6, so we don't get a bunch of pauses during their turn. They don't play Monkey, they just go untapped land, pass. Okay. We draw Sam, we can't play that off of our mana currently. Let's just go basic forest, attack for 1. I think they would have played Ragavan if they had it, and pass. They consider Flooded Strand, and passes. That works. We're just not going to play anything on our turn either. Let's go Verdant Catacombs so we can get mana for Sam. Attack with Familiar. They might play Blood Moon on their turn, we'll see. If they do play Blood Moon, I think I still just flash an Endurance and then go for CoCo on my turn. Maybe Chatterfang instead of CoCo. Probably CoCo, though. Alright, they didn't get a basic, so I don't think they have Blood Moon. Yeah, I definitely don't think they have Blood Moon with the 3rd land like that. I think I still just flash an Endurance here. Temple Garden, because it forces them to use a counterspell. They must have Murktide in their hand as their threat, because they just haven't been doing anything. Subtlety. Okay. I will absolutely put Endurance on top again. I'm fine with that. That's a bad subtlety right there. Let's attack with Familiar, play Beseiju, and pass. What did they exile with subtlety? Stern Scolding. Okay. Yeah, I really don't, it feels like that wasn't the right thing to subtlety. That seemed bad. Let's Endurance again. They've got to have Murktide in their hand. Otherwise, I don't think they'd be worried that much about this. Alright, they have Dress Down. That's fine. So they keep their graveyard. Hilarious. I think that means they must have Murktide. So I'm just going to put a stop in their upkeep and go for the other Endurance. And I think they're just going to die to Creature Beats here. It seems like. Or I could Endurance now. No. Waste your unholy heat, please. Cool. Alright. I think I just run it back. Do I want to change anything? Not really. Let's just submit and run back. I do still think it's probably better to have Pithing Needle instead of Haywire Might here, but since they got us with Blood Moon in game 1, I really don't want that to happen again. It gets in the way of Ragavan decently, I guess. Alright, we have learned not to keep this hand, because there's only 1 land, even though I have Witch's Oven Cauldron Familiar, which is very tempting. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, I have 3 lands. I'll get rid of Visceraseer. I don't really want it early. I don't like playing that card out. Okay, let's get rid of the upkeep stop. Double CoCo, hopefully at least one of them gets to resolve. Hey, Haywire Might, Samwise. Let's just play Temple Garden tapped here. They could have Stern Scolding or a Bolt here. They go for Consider. I'd rather play Might out when they actually have something that I could block on the board, or I'm getting a token with Samwise or Lonis. Tormod's Crypt. They miss a land drop. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So I'm not worried about Blood Moon because of that. So I'm just going to go Overgrown Tomb, Samwise. They're likely going to bolt it. But I just want to make them use their spells now. Do they have a bolt? Surely they do. Yep. Unholy Heat, that's fun. I guess I could Haywire Might Tormod's Crypt, but that seems a little insane. Gingerbread Cabin. Okay. Let's get a basic forest and just go for Chatterfang. I do want to have the forest in play just in case they wind up getting Blood Moon this game, but I doubt they will. It's more likely than me needing to play Lonis within the next couple of turns, since I'm probably just going to be going for CoCos anyway. Ragavan, okay. Opponent's tapped out. I don't think they have force. Ooh. Academy Manufacturer might change what I'm doing here. I think it does change what I'm doing here. Let's go Manufactor. Play Gingerbread Cabin. Play... Do I play Haywire Might or do I just crack a clue here? I think I just crack a clue and hold Might still. Academy Manufactor is either going to get a bolt out of their hand or be able to stop Ragavan from attacking. They found a land anyway. Okay. They have Unholy Heat. Okay. I'm fine with that. That's a fine trade. Now, do I want to crack the clue or do I want to keep the treasure in the clue? Is the question. Because the treasure could let me play Haywire Might after CoCo here, which might matter. The clue could also find me a land, though. Let's just go ahead and crack the clue. Cauldron Familiar, okay. And Chord. I don't think they would have kept Spell Piercing against us. So let's just go for CoCo now. Academy Manufacturer, Gilded Goose. Okay. Any order? Yield. And I'm just going to pass. I don't want to play Haywire Might or Cauldron Familiar because of the Tormod's Crypt. They used 2 removal spells on Academy Manufacturer last turn, so it makes me think they won't be able to get rid of it this turn. But we'll see. They cycle Lorien Revealed. That was probably their draw for turn, since they had been missing land drops. And Murktide? Looks like Murktide. I think we might be able to steal this game. They play Murktide. 2 cards in our opponent's hand. They have 1 treasure. They could have Stern Scolding, I guess, for Haywire Might. What do we draw? Fatal Push. Okay. Let's cast Might. Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I Chord or do I CoCo here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's probably better to CoCo. Chatterfang, Endurance, Delighted Halfling. Okay, Chatterfang, Endurance. Any order. Let's target my graveyard to get those cards back in my deck. I could Chord X2. I don't think I do, though. I think I use Haywire Might during their turn, possibly blocking Murktide Regent with either Endurance or Gilded Goose, because I need to get rid of Tormod's Crypt before I play Cauldron Familiar out. Alright, let's just pass. They have 2 cards in hand. Yeah, if I was able to make a token on top of getting Chatterfang in play, I think I would have been able to Chord for Sam also there. Spyro, okay. And it's going to draw 2 fresh cards, getting rid of a Blood Moon. They might find removal for Manufactor now, but we'll see. Opponent goes to 15. Bolts Chatterfang. Okay. Attacks for 8. They have 3. They have 1 card in hand. I don't think I block here. Let's Haywire Might the Tormod's Crypt. It's possible that I should have done that in response to them bolting Chatterfang so that I keep Chatterfang in the graveyard. But I think I wanted the opportunity to block with Haywire Might as well. It might have been a misplay on my part, though. Alright, we draw. Samwise. Okay, we win. Get Sam. Well, I guess they have the treasure, so they could have, like, Stern Scolding, but... Sam resolves, so I don't think they do. Yield. Yield. 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, hold on. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spell Pierce? That's okay, I can pay for that. That is why I tapped like that. Yes. And we win. Get Viserys here, get some triggers. Hooray! Alright, I've redeemed myself against Murktide. And I will see ya, hopefully with a 4-1 in the next round. Alright, final round, we won the die roll, so we're going to take the play. We've got... pretty chaotic hand. It's probably a mulligan since it's a 1-lander. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not tempted, but let's mulligan it. Alright. It's not great, but I think we keep it. What do we put back, though? We're definitely keeping Goose, Manufacturer, and Collected Company, I think. Let's put Chatterfang back. Keep Lonis. If we draw a couple of lands, we can wait until Cabin comes in untapped and triggers Manufacturer to play it, which would be nice. Otherwise, it might just be a tap land. Alright, let's see what our opponent's playing. Sacred Foundry tapped. Now, what in the hell does that mean? Oh, opponent recognizes me. That's cool. I don't think they're playing Burn, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Lonis out. Probably 4-color, but 4-color would have played a fetch land into a Triumph on turn 1 instead of Sacred Foundry, so I don't really know what we're playing against. Flagstones of Trocir, okay. Oh shit, okay. We're playing against a prison deck. Interesting. Suppression Field is actually a problem for us. Let's go Academy Manufactor, because we can't combo with Suppression Field in play. Luckily we have ways to get it off the board, but still. So this looks like they could be playing like Nahiri, although I haven't actually seen Nahiri as a deck in a very long time. I'm gonna hold Gingerbread Cabin. Do I hold Gingerbread Cabin here? Maybe it's not worth it because of Suppression Field. No, I don't think it is. Let's just play Cabin tapped. We can Collected Company, hopefully get a couple triggers. They could be playing Wraths in their main deck, or Furies, pretty easily. Sacred Foundry tapped. Okay. They've got to be playing Land Destruction, like Boom Bust for Flagstones. Temple Garden. Okay. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Let's just shock ourselves. Attack for 3. This is going to be a really weird game, is what I'm assuming. So it costs 4 to pop Foods and Clues. It costs 2 mana to activate Cauldron Familiar or Lonis. I might just be Lonising them next turn to see what's going on. Opponent plays Flagstones, gets a trigger. Okay. So they have 4 mana this turn. They get a 3rd Sacred Foundry. So this has to be like Sun and Moon or something, right? They play another Suppression Field. Jesus Christ. I think I just CoCo now, and then try to activate Gilded Goose to get some more tokens while I can. Okay, double Manufacturer. I think I can actually fight through the Suppression Field now. You're saying I've got a chance. Oh my god, I got it. Alright, opponent scoops. We didn't quite have game, but we had so much value. I could have activated Gilded Goose, made a ton of more tokens, and if they don't have removal, I would have just looked at the top however many cards of their deck. That is probably what they were avoiding. Alright, I want Force of Vigor for sure. I think I want Haywire Might also. Pithing Needle and Lavinia are maybes. They almost certainly are playing Fury and Solitude. I don't think the Graveyard Hate's going to do anything. I don't think Fatal Push does anything here. Witch's Oven definitely seems bad, because on top of being a white and red deck that can remove it very easily, it's just very bad with Suppression Field. Let's get rid of both the ovens, bring in Pithing Needle, get rid of 2 chords for the 2 Force of Vigors and run it like that, I think. Hope for the best. I mean, this hand's good. Still don't really know what I'm fighting, though, so let's keep and hope for the best. I would have thought that they were a Blood Moon deck, but we didn't see any basics at all last game. If they were playing Blood Moon, I think they would have used one of the Flagstones to get a basic Plains, in case they wound up playing it. They play Tap Sacred Foundry again. Alright, we found a forest anyway, so I'm just going to start with that into Delighted Halfling. Then next turn I can go either Sam or Lonis into Gilded Goose. That doesn't seem bad. Probably Lonis first, since I think it's a little bit worse. And I'd rather start making... Ooh, second Lonis. Okay, I'm definitely starting with that. Let's shock in Overgrown Tomb, play Lonis, play Goose. They could very well still be playing some amount of board wipes and stuff, especially after sideboard. I wonder if this player has any published lists of this. Solitude, Exiling Wear Tear. Do they have a way to blink Solitude, I wonder? They do. Okay, they Ephemerate. They're going to get rid of all of our shit. And we will be stuck with 1 food from Gilded Goose and nothing else left. That kind of sucks. Wear Tear and Ephemerate and Solitude are what we've seen so far. They've got to be playing Furies too. They've got to be, right? Main deck double Suppression Field is fucking wild. Lotus Field. Oh, because you can avoid the trigger with Suppression Field. That's really cool. Alright, we have another Lonis. We have 2 other Lonises and we have Samwise. I think because we have 2 Lonises and just 1 Samwise, I want to get Breeding Pool here. Opponent only has 2 cards left in hand, so we should be able to sneak some creatures through. Next turn, if I unsap with Lonis, I'm probably just going to play Manufacturer and start getting tokens. So that way I can play Sam. Yeah, I guess that's what I have to do in this scenario. Otherwise, I'll just play Lonis again and pass. Opponent plays Spyro. What do they have in their hand? Second Lotus Field. Okay, that makes sense. Blackstone's Lotus Field is pretty cool too. Opponent attacks for 3 with Solitude. I wonder if they have removal. They need something. They do have a lot of mana that they're going to untap with next turn. Word of Calling. Alright, I think I just got to go with Manufacturer. Investigate. It's not worth cracking just the one clue to look at their deck. I doubt that they have anything to hit. They might have like Ragavan, but even if they do, it's very unlikely that I hit it. They're playing Blood Sun in their deck. That's cool. Where? Okay. That sucks for me, but hopefully I can get that back with Sam soon. Opponent plays Sacred Foundry and passes. Attacks for 5. Okay. So I could play Sam. I could Chord X1. Chatterfang. How does Chatterfang change things for me? I still need to get Cauldron Familiar. I can play Sam with the treasure. Get a clue. Opponent only has 1 card in their hand, so they'll have 2 cards to actually interrupt me here. I think I just pass and plan on casting Chord of Calling X1 during their turn to get a 3rd food and pick up Manufacturer, and I think I win next turn because of that. What you got? Valakut Awakening. They are digging. They have 2 fresh cards. Did they find removal? They attack for 5. I will take the 5. Alright. Let's Chord for 1. See if they remove anything. They do not. Get familiar. Get some triggers. Yep. Always yield. Alright. They have to have removal or interaction with the graveyard to be able to survive here. We draw Saga. Let's play out Saga, I guess. Sandback Manufacturer. 1, 2, 3. Play Manufacturer. Gets us enough mana to play Chatterfang. And I think we got it. Bunch of tokens. And Chatterfang on the stack is their last chance to remove something before I have game. Alright, we got it. Alright, GG's to our opponent. That was a lot of fun. Let's open up these 5 treasure chests. I think I could have potentially got the 5-0. I definitely played sloppy against that first Murktide player. But oh well. Alright, first one. Jin Gataxi is fancy looking, probably not worth anything on Moto though. 2. Fancy Gandalf. I don't think any of the Lord of the Rings cards other than the One Ring and the Orcs are actually worth anything on Moto, which is kind of hilarious. That's 3, 4... Grim Lavamancer, that card used to be playable in the format. And 5. What do we got? Nothing in particular. Got some play points. Alright, let's go back to the deck. So I've been having a ton of fun brewing and playing this deck. I would love to have more eyes on it. It's been super exciting to me that since I won that challenge, people have been interested in playing with it again. Some cards that I think are worth experimenting with. First one. Phantasmal Image. I was playing that one over Peregrine Took for a while. It's mostly just to copy Academy Manufacturer so that you're more consistently getting 2 manufacturers in play, because that's always very powerful of a situation to be in. Main downside, it's really easy for your opponent to kill Phantasmal Image with just an Orc Ping or something like that. And also Image is worse since creativity isn't around that much in the format currently. Grist is worth thinking about also. You can CoCo or Chord into it and its way to get rid of Elishnorn, which otherwise could be a really easy way for like 4-color or whoever else has Elishnorn to beat us. Luckily, we don't run into that often. Also, Grist is a really nice synergy piece with Chatterfang since you keep making extra tokens. Jinny Fey is okay. I used to run it in the deck before the Lord of the Rings set came out. The main issues are it's just kind of clunky as a win condition now because it doesn't win through the One Ring, where Cauldron Familiar does. And also, it just kind of feels like a win more card, like it doesn't do anything unless you're already making a shit ton of tokens. I would avoid it. And the other main card I think is worth experimenting with is the Shire. It might be better to play that instead of like Urza Sagas or Dryad Arbor or something. So yeah, let me know what you think of the deck. I'm definitely going to be playing more of this in the future. I've been having a ton of fun with it, and I think it's really well positioned in the format right now. And I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.